What about tofu? Tofu does not look like it comes from the ground. There's no tofu plant. I promise you there's at least one person out there. So I wanted to say that earlier, but I didn't want to stop you. So what do you think about tofu? Is tofu part of a whole food plant-based diet?
It actually is. So as I said, you can take whole foods and cook them. Well, tofu comes from soybeans. We have this wonderful place in the Iowa City area that's called Old Capitol Food Company, and you can go over there, you can make an appointment, and you can see them make tofu. Tofu is soybeans that have been boiled. The fibrous part has been removed because it's a little less digestible, and they add a coagulant, which is calcium gluconate or calcium, some type of calcium. That's all it is. It's soybeans and water and the coagulant. So if you boil up the soybeans, and you can do this in your own kitchen, you can make your own soy milk if you want to. If you really want to make tofu in your kitchen, you can do that too. That is about as least processed as you can possibly get for this type of a product.
Shout out to Old Capitol Tofu Company. Would love to have any of those guys on the program. I will say that I'm a meat guy that loves that sort of hearty texture, that chewy, so forth. I've had lots of kinds of tofu. They are not sponsoring this program, although I would be open to that. Again, Old Capitol Tofu guys. Their tofu that is called the firmest. If you look in the grocery store, and it's for the longest time they only sold to restaurants, and now you can get it in the grocery store. But it's like firmer, firmest. The texture of that firmest, I've never had anything that comes close to that in terms of like its overall quality of that. But so I'm going to have to ask about protein. Anybody who hints that they might be thinking about being vegetarian and definitely vegan, they're going to get the protein question. I saw a meme in the last year that just cracked me up, that it was like, it had different conversations, and one was like, man, I had a hard week at work. I'm totally going to go out and get wasted this weekend. And the person responding was like, yeah, man, you do that. You totally earned it. And one was like, man, like I'm going to hook up with this hot chick I met at the bar. And it was like, yeah, man, you totally do that. And the third one was like, I'm going to be vegetarian. Oh my God, it's so bad for your health. What about your protein? What about your whatever? Like, I thought that was funny. So, I'm not even gonna lead you into this because I wouldn't even know where to start. Tell us about protein and how big of a role does it even play? Certainly there's people that argue about that. And then what about protein on a vegetarian or vegan diet?
Well, the first thing I want to say is that people think that they're likely to be protein deficient on a plant-based diet because the meat industry has been promoting their products. Remember all of the promotions about the beef industry and so forth. What was that one that was so popular? Where's the beef?
Where's the beef? That was Wendy's, right?
Yeah, that was many years ago. So the livestock industry, the pork industry, and probably the eggs and the dairy industry, they want you to think you're protein deficient, so that you'll keep buying their products. The truth of the matter is that you can get adequate protein on a 100% whole food plant-based diet because there's protein in everything. Protein is not just found in meat and milk and eggs and so forth. Everything you eat has protein in it, so plants are a very good source. And actually they're a better source than the animal products. So
why is that? Why are they a better source?
They have the non-heme iron, which is less promoting of heart disease than the heme iron that's found in animal products. That's one of the things, one of the reasons. And there's the other thing that people are confused about is that they think that there's a lack of amino acids in certain foods, and you have to, balance your diet so that you get the right combination.
People will say the plant protein is incomplete.
Yeah.
Go.
But you're eating a variety of foods, and so what's incomplete in one is complete in another. So you eat those kinds of foods together. They don't have to be eaten at the same time. You have those foods in your diet, and you're going to get adequate amino acids. Your body knows what to do with the amino acids when they're coming in. So you eat protein from plant sources. It goes to the liver eventually through the digestive process, and your liver says, okay, I've got enough inventory here, I can make the proteins that I need for various purposes. The other thing is that I want people to understand that the research shows, and this is valid research of large populations, that shows that people who eat a plant-based diet live an average of 8 years longer than people who eat meat. So what does that say? Does that say that vegetarian diets are deficient in any way? No. They actually promote health to the point where people can live longer. And they live longer because they don't get heart disease, they don't get cancer, and many of the other myriad, well, type 2 diabetes is a classic example too. So you can live longer, you can live more healthfully, enjoy your life, your family, your hobbies, if you like to travel and so forth. You get another 8 years to do all that kind of thing and you live healthfully.
What if you want to be an athlete, or what if you're pregnant? I mean, is it, do we need to worry about protein or different nutrients if we're in one of those kind of states?
Not very much more. Actually, again, people think that they need to have huge amounts of protein, and they really don't. So the average female needs to have about 45 to 55 grams of protein per day. A man is about 55 to 60, somewhere in that range. Maybe another 10 grams per day for a woman who's pregnant. But again, the body knows what to do with these amino acids and the protein sources. Even people who are weight trainers don't need to have a large amount of additional protein. And the people who are taking in large amounts of protein, people who are on a carnivore diet, they're actually creating problems for themselves in the form of kidney stones, for an example, osteoporosis down the road. Because the protein, the acidity of the protein, the animal protein, can leach calcium from the bones.
Yeah. So no concerns about protein
if a person's eating a whole food plant-based diet.
Okay.